And good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Clarity Social TV. My name's Paul Church from Clarity Crafts here in the UK, and we have a lovely hour for you today. In the groove, nice and chilled, nice and calm. And I thought we'd do some mini makes this afternoon. For those of you that joined me this morning on Groovy Tuesday, you'll notice that we made a couple of, well, I say I made one. So yeah, which we'll give away during the course of this hour. And if you missed that show, then you can go back and watch via our Clarity Crafts YouTube page. The lovely Jilly is in the room with you this afternoon, so if you have any questions, she's there to help. And she'll be popping the links up for the various different products that we're going to be looking at, and also the show page. So just going to wait for the all clear to make sure that the sound is good. I can see we have some friends in the chat already. Good afternoon, Clive, Martine, and Sharon. The sound is great. Thank you very much, Jilly. So yeah, nice chilled afternoon. I want to shine a light again on a couple of the brand new one-day online workshops that we launched last week. One is a 12 by 12 canvas with Barb in February, and the other one is in January with Louise and myself. So we'll have a look at those and revisit those. Maybe you're not aware of them, or it's the first time you've tuned in. And yeah, we'll just have a nice chilled afternoon. Weather's not very nice outside. I know there's a storm hitting the UK, Storm Bram. I did expect it to be a little bit worse than what they were saying on the weather last night, but there's still time. You know, it's like blink and the weather changes. It'll probably be snowing by the time we finish this. So good afternoon, lovely Sam. Company. And we can just keep each other company for the next hour or so. So you may have noticed in the top of the screen, there's a little QR code. It's something that Janice told me about yesterday when we were here, when she was here doing her show with us for the timestamp creations. And if you're watching on a smart TV, or you're watching on your iPad or something like that, if you've got a phone, most phones have cameras now, you can scan that QR code and it will take you straight to the TV show page. So we'll give that a go, see whether that works. And everything in the show page is what I'm focusing on during this hour. Now, if you join me this morning, you'll know that I did some cheeky little prices on some of the products, but we'll go through that in a little while. And just to show, I mean, 30% off on quite a few little bits and pieces. So if you're looking to just stock up on some of your Groovy Essentials two-tone parchment, really, really good value with 30% off, plus your club discount as well. So yeah, there we go. It just tells me somebody has scanned the QR code. So that'll be interesting. That's clever. I didn't know that would happen. So I'll have to try not to be distracted by that. Nice cup of coffee to keep me going for the next hour. So should we have a look at what is on offer during this afternoon show? I'm going to swap over to a different screen so I won't see the chat any longer. But if there's any questions or you want to know something, then either Jilly can help you or she'll send me a text and ask the question on your behalf. Right, okay. Oh, somebody else has just scanned it. Oh, I like this. Okay, I'll do some full screen graphics and then we'll just talk about the various different products that we've got for you. So the first item is the brand new online workshop. This is the Glastonbury Tour paper collage. The item number for this is 60230. It's £67. Now, with all of our online workshops, 1, 2, 3 courses, etc., There is no club discounts on those items. But when you see that, for those of you that have done our courses before, once you buy that course, you have the key to that classroom for as long as you want. Now, the actual live session for this course will take place on Saturday, the 7th of February, and it'll be in 2 sessions. The first session will be from 9 a.m. until midday, and then we have a little break and a little breather, and then we come back at 2 o'clock until approximately 4-ish. If you can't tune in live on that particular day, maybe you've already got arrangements for the 7th of February, then don't worry, because you can always go back and watch it afterwards. So that was the course we launched last week, and that's proving really, really popular. Previous ones that Barbara did, which kicked off our online workshops just over a year ago now. So that's the first brand new course that we launched. Then this is the online workshop, the enhanced pencil work for Groovy and Pergamano parchment crafters. The item number for this is 60231, and it's £60 for this course. And Louise will be showing us how to do that beautiful sort of colouring on the front of your parchment, to get that really sort of like the painted look with ease. And she will be using this collection of groovy plates, which we launched last week as well. These are MIDI plates. I'm going to bring the details in for those. It is Barbara's Big Blooms, the MIDI groovy plate collection, and you've got the stripy, then you've got the outline, and then you've also got that lovely jolly holly. The item number for that is, I can't see, it's disappeared. That's weird. 425, what's that code? 42594. I wonder why that's changed. And you have a £3 saving plus your club discount. And I'm going to use these this afternoon to do a little project, because these are great for mini makes as well. So that's the Big Blooms. Now, we also did previous courses for Groovy and Pergamano. So this was the foundation course that we launched earlier in the year. The item number for this is 60220. 3 different modules, and it's sort of like a real sort of introduction to the 3 core techniques when it comes to parchment craft. So module 1 covers white work, module 2 covers colouring, and module 3 covers picot cutting. So that was the very first 1, 2, 3 online course that we did for Groovy and Pergamano parchment crafters. Then we broke it down and we did a 1, 2, 3 course just for white work. So module 1, as you can see on the screen, concentrates on like the embossing tools, the ball tools. Module 2 were the shader tools. And then number 3 brought it all together, and where you could decide whether you were more comfortable with a ball tool or a shader tool to create some beautiful shadow embossing. So the item number for this course is 60223. Then we moved on to colour. So the item number for this course is 60227. Module 1 concentrated on Dorso crayons. Module 2 covered the Perga colour pens, and then module 3 covered the Perga liner pencils. Each of these 3-hour sessions, all available for you to go back and watch again and again once you buy that course. Then we finished the 1, 2, 3 collection on the perforating and picot cutting. Module 1 was sort of a basic introduction to perforating and picot cutting. Module 2 was freestyle perforating, where you use a 2-needle tool to go around various different shapes, etc. And then module 3 was a little bit more intricate perforating and creating your own grid designs. So the item number for that course is 60228. Now, if you did join me this morning, hands up who joined me this morning. I we had a look. This is a real sort of great essential plate. So this is Barbara's Christmas Tree Sampler A4 Square Groovy Plate. The item number for this is 41378. This has a 30% discount on it. Normally £19.99, you have a £6 saving, bringing it down to £13.99. If you belong to any of our clubs, then you'll get either a 10%, 12.5%, or 15% discount. So a 15% discount means you're saving £8.10 and you'll be paying £11.89. Really, I explained this morning that some of our clarity designs are timeless. And we established that this particular plate was launched back in 2019, but it is still as current now as it was back then. Then we had a look this morning at the bauble sampler A4 Groovy Plate. Various different size baubles, various different shapes and sizes. You've got the little crowns on there as well. This also has a 30% saving, bringing the price down for a Diamond Club member to £15.46, saving £10.53. And then the other one for this time of year, the I Am Essential Christmas Sentiments A5 Groovy Plate. Cheeky little, bringing the price down to £10.14. Diamond Club members, £8.62. So I thought I'd share all those different bits and pieces with you during the course of this hour. But I thought we would have a look. There's a couple of other things that I want to share with you, and I'll do that on the overhead. So, for example, we launched these at our open days in Ditton, and these were used in the make and take. So this is our pack of 4 fridge magnets, and this is what I made this morning. Let me zoom in on that. Here we go. And I'm going to give this away this afternoon, but it was very simple to do, quick and easy. You can see I've used one of the I'm Essential sentiments, and then I used one of the 9 trees from Barb's A4 Square Christmas Tree Sampler. And then I used some gold and red Posca pens on top. So that was the coasters that we looked at. And then I thought, if you're looking at quick and easy, cards are on about, quick and easy, or mini makes, or coasters are great little gifts. The fridge magnets are great little gift. But to do it even quicker, for example, so this is the coaster that I showed off earlier, coloured parchment. I mean, how easy is that? One of the trees, designs in the corner, nested squares from the starter kit, and a lovely little sentiment on there. Okay, so this is where our coloured parchment comes into play. So if I zoom out, I'm going to have a quick pick and flick through our two-tone parchment. Now, if you want the A4 folder to keep everything in, the item number for that is 40575. So let's start off. We have the lovely dusky pink and rich plum. You'll get 5 sheets of each, and the special price on that, normally it's £17.75, 30% off plus club discount. So 30% off brings it down to £12.42, which is really, really good value. And if you're a Diamond Club member, it brings it down to £10.56. So that's just over literally £1 a sheet. So that's your dusky pink and your lovely rich plum. Then we have our willow green and meadow green, item number 40770. Then we have the primrose yellow and the olive green. I really like the olive green on this one. 40771. Peach and nutmeg, another of my favorites. Item number 40772. Then we have our pear green and apple green, item number 40773. Another, I've got so many favourites, it's terrible, isn't it? This is petrol blue and smoky blue. So it's a really nice colour combination. Item number 40774. Midnight blue and sky blue. This will be that you can get with the midnight blue. If when you're working with it, you put a piece of black paper or black card behind it, it is almost black. It really, really is. Then we have another one, orange squash and lime twist, really fresh and zesty even. Item number 40776. Then pine needles and sage green, perfect for this time of the year. Item number 40777. Another favourite, periwinkle blue and very violet. Item number 40778. Then we go to teal and light teal. Item number for that is 41403. Then we have our green and light green, item number 41402. And then we have our pink and our light pink, item number 41406. And there's also, we've got ivory, light ivory, rose, dark rose. There's a couple of other colours which you'll find all on that show page. Whether you either follow the link that Gilly would have posted in the chat, or alternatively, if you click the QR code using your phone, so you take a picture of it on your phone, and then it brings up like a little, well, it's a QR code. You click that and it takes you straight to the show page. And I can see many of you have given that a go already. So there we go. Okay, so I thought, what did I think? I thought we would have a look at Barb's Big Blooms, and I've made one magnet. We'll call it a fridge magnet because most people will stick those on their fridges if you can. So I thought we'll do another magnet and we'll use Barb's Blooms. So let's have a look at the plates. Let's have a look on the overhead. Whee, there we go. Now we've got the 3 different plates here. You've got the holly, and these verses. This font is absolutely amazing. Then you've got your little flowers. You've got your foliage. You've got the stripy flowers. But we know that if you don't want to include those stripes, you don't have to. You can leave those empty. So I'm going to go for this particular one. And let's see what we can come up with. So, are we good? Everybody happy? I can see we've got lots of friends in the room, lots of people scanning that QR code. Here we go, someone's done it again. It's really weird. It was something that, I say, Janice pointed out yesterday. So I had a bit of a play in between the shows, and well, let's see what happens. What do you think? I'm going to go into the chat for a minute. Any thoughts on the little QR code? Who's tried it? Jackie's tried it. What else have we got? Okay. Yeah, Clive was there this morning. Betty said learning how to use the crayons was the best ever. Thank you, Betty. Louise did a fantastic job. Ball sampler, blah, blah, blah. Nikki needs the sentiment plate. Maybe Nikki do with 30% off. What else have we got? Lovely Karen's in the room. Pat joined in this morning. Excellent. Where are we going? So there we go. Okay. Right, let's have a look then at this. I love these little MIDI plates. I forgot to bring in the plate mate to go around it, but you know what? I can get around that. So I thought that I'd go for this little collection of flowers. So what I'm going to do first is just give my piece of parchment. I've already cut it to size to fit within my little fridge magnet. So it's 60 millimeters by 90 millimeters. And I want to put a sentiment in as well. So I reckon I've got enough space there. So let's have a little looky. That I'm going to hold in place. So thank you also everyone this morning for the best wishes for Louise. She's poorly at the moment. So I know she'd appreciate all your very kind words, etc., etc. Okay, I'm going to keep everything nice and simple, and I'm going to do everything in the number 1 tool. So we're just going to trace out this flower. So whether you go Christmas with the Christmas tree sampler, I really enjoy using that plate. And I'll show you, if you didn't join, no, if you wasn't in the room this morning, then I'll show you a couple of things I did with that bauble sampler as well. And it was all done within sort of like a couple of minutes, because when Louise messaged so that she was unwell and she wouldn't be in, I thought, right, what can I do? What can I do in Groovy Tuesday? Well, first of all, I could bring our friends some special prices, because I can do that. And then I thought, Christmas. Now in the shack, Barb's been doing Christmas trees, triangle Christmas trees. And then yesterday, she was doing baubles. And I thought, you know what? I can combine both with Groovy. So I can take those lovely Christmas trees that Barb illustrated, and I could take that bauble sampler and do that. And that's exactly what I did. Okay, so how far down? I don't want to go all the way down, so I'm going to sort of stop about there. And as I'm coming down, when I get further down, what I'm doing is I'm lifting away. And I mean, the Groovy tab's there, which isn't helping. And what it's doing, it gives like a feathered finish rather than a complete abrupt stop. So let's finish this one off here. And I thought what we'd do, we'd have a look at those sets of polychromos Barb put together, the spring, summer, autumn and winter. I think these will be lovely. I know Louise will be using a selection of those in the course, Enhanced Pencil Work course. She will be using a selection of those. She'll be using pergoliners as well. But I know she's dying to give the polychromos a go. So, do we need Barb's big blooms? I want to add an yes, I have to be careful when I say Barb's big blooms, full stop, for the new course in January. Yes, Louise will be using, let me just go back to the design. If I bring up the details on the screen, Louise will be using 2 of those plates. I mean, she's going to show us how to use the holly as well, but that won't be the main focus of there. If you go to the website, you can either go via the QR code to the show page. When you click into the product 60231, it will tell you exactly what's going to be covered. And once Louise is feeling a bit better, there will be a downloadable list of ingredients on what Louise will be using. If you have already purchased the course, then when that list is available, I will email it to everybody. So, so if you buy it this week and Louise does the download list next week, I'll put it on the website. but I'll also email everybody that's signed up so far as well. But she will be using those plates as the vehicle for that enhanced pencil work course. Okay, right. So I've got my lovely little spray of flowers. Then I can decide, what do I want to say? Do I want to say thank you? Do I want to say you're the best? I can say with love because I can reposition the sentiments, or I could say Merry Christmas, season's greetings if I wanted to, or I could say, what else have we got? Great news, hugs and kisses, enjoy your special day. So I've got plenty of choices on these 3 particular plates, but I think I'm going to put you're the best. So somebody will be in with a chance of winning this during the course of this hour. Okay, I'm just going to put that plate under there. I'm sort of cheating because I forgot the plate, mate. So, but this font, all I can say is watch this space. Coming to a screen in January. That's all I'm saying. Barb has fallen in love with this as well. For those of you that joined the shack yesterday morning, those little baubles, and then Barb used one of the sentiments from the holly plate. Okay, there we go. You're the best. So I thought what we'll do now is we'll add a little bit of colour. So we're going to pop the plates to one side. And then I thought that, see, I can do this. Let me put that like that. I can hold it down whilst I'm kind of, probably I'll move it, but there we go. So you can see we've got that lovely spray of flowers. And I thought that I would use the lovely, I've got them on in the glasses here, the spring, summer, autumn, winter polychromo pencils. And there's, see, have a look at this while I just grab the actual packs, because there's some beautiful color options in these, and you've obviously still got the essentials collection as well. So we have the winter collection. See, I love this selection of colors. Then we have our autumn collection. See, really nice again. Then we have our summer collection. And then finally, we have our spring collection. But if I lay these all out like so and zoom out, if I do it this way, I'm going to turn it over so you can see it's a beautiful rainbow of colours. Okay. And I know when Barb was putting it, she spent hours coming up with these colour combinations. You've got greens in all of them. You've got sort of some like mid colours, some light colours. It really is a fantastic way of enhancing your pencil collection. So let's have a look. What colours I think I want to go to this one, I reckon. Let's have a look. So this is the winter collection. So I'm going to grab my glass that has the winter collection in them, and then I'm going to take a scrap of parchment, and then I'm going to have a look at the colours. So because sometimes they'll look slightly different, or they don't look slightly different. Just scribbling them out. Build like a little colour chart on your parchment. And then I've got the pinks, like so. And then you've got that lovely, what colour is it? This is the earth green. See, so it's really nice. And this is on black, so it's a little bit more harsh than if it was on white. If I grab a piece of white card, and there's one that has disappeared from this collection. So you can see there, you've got a nice color palette from there. Now, decisions. See, my go-to normally, I'm going to change my mind. Because I can. I'm going to go for this lovely red, which is in the autumn collection. So this is Madder. All of the pencils are available individually as well. So I'm going to go for that. And I'm from the same collection. I'm going to go for, what colour is this? This is the dark cadmium yellow. Okay. I'm going to, yes, these are the colours. Let me just check. That and that. Yes, it's a really nice warm yellow. Okay, so to colour this in, I'm just going to use my Groovy Guard to lean on. And what I'm going to do first, I'm going to put a very light undercoat of yellow in each of the petals. And I'm not applying pressure. I remember when I first started colouring in on parchment, and I thought when using pencils, because you're working on the back of your artwork, in order to get the intensity of colour, what you had to do was really apply pressure so you got that solid colour. And it wasn't until sort of I was watching Barb with her colouring on parchment that I realised it's not about the pressure. Well, it is, it's the light pressure, but it's how you build up the different layers of colour. So we're going to do this little flower, and it really is, I tend to call this technique the tickling of the parchment, because all I'm doing is gently applying colour to the petals. So for me, the colouring is just as relaxing as it is with tracing out the design. And these big blooms are a perfect way of having a play. So I've used that one there. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to bring in my spot on sponge and some Dorso oil. Because these are a wax-based, oil-based pencil, they work perfectly with our Dorso oil. So then I need my blending pen and a nib. And all I'm going to do, I just literally touch. So if I bring in my scrap, I can see how much oil I've got. I don't know if you can see that. Look, so that was just that literal dip into that oil on the sponge. Okay, so we have a question. In order to win the fridge magnet, what do we need to do? I would say for the tree fridge magnet, if you'd like to be in with a chance of winning the tree fridge magnet, then just put the word tree. Okay, so blimey, is that the time? I'll give that one 10 minutes and then I'll scroll back and I'll find a winner on that one. And then I'll think of a word for the next one. Okay. So now that I've got the oil on there, all I'm doing now is again, just gently tickling the parchment. And I don't know if you can see, if I come in closer, what it's doing now is it's taking the pigment and it's breaking it down. And for me, it's a magic. It sort of turns it into like a paint. It smooths it out and changes the consistency and the vibrancy of the colour as well. Now, another top tip when it comes to colouring in, if you have a light panel, if you're working with the light panel underneath, it can help with your colouring as well. Okay, so if I do that, you can definitely see the difference between where the Dorso oil has been applied and the Dorso oil hasn't been applied. Okay, so don't forget, we're still working on the back of the parchment, and I haven't reloaded the nib. There's plenty on here to do this whole bouquet of flowers. Okay. And all I'm doing is I'm turning the nib, because in a way, although the nib's at a point, the oil is on both sides of the nib. And if I make a mistake and I go over the edge, I can use the eraser pencil to erase it. If I decide that actually I don't like this colour yellow, I should have gone for a brighter yellow, then using the eraser pencil, you can rub it all out and start again. But this is great for your mini makes as well, these little fridge magnets. And it's sort of like it's weird, isn't it? We're calling these Barb's Big Blooms, but they're tiny. Because we've put them, I say we, the royal we, Jazz has put them onto MIDI plates, and so shrunken them down. And these little, I think these little magnets, the fridge magnets, going to be my new go-to. These are fantastic little table presents, just little presents that you can give to anybody. So let me just change some details on the screen. So these are the plates that we're working with. Then all I'm going to do is I'm going to flick some red at the base of each of these little petals. Okay. Just a little bit of red. I mean, that looks quite nice as it is, but what we're going to do is we're going to blend it, and the red will have the stronger pigment, so it will be very prominent. So that's why you just want a tiny little bit at the bottom, because you can always add it. And I was going to say, but you can't take it away. Well, you can. You can use an eraser to take it away. That's one of the beauties of using either the Pergoliner pencils or the polychromos, because you can take it away. It's the makeup of the parchment that allows for it to be removed very easily. So now all we're going to do is start at the bottom, and I'm just flicking up to blend in that red. Maybe I need a tiny little bit more of the, I mean, look, the Dorso oil. Too much? I don't know. Yeah, a little bit too much. So what we can do is we can allow the oil to evaporate, and then we can go back in. So even though I didn't put, I need to take those groovy tabs off, they're going to annoy me now. Okay. Great working with small pieces. And then all I'm doing now is just gently flicking from the bottom up into the petal. And what will happen is it will create a beautiful orangey colour, because we've got that red, we've got that lovely yellow. But you really do not need a lot of red, because if you put too much red on, it blends it too much, and then it becomes the dominant color. Whereas what I want is a very light sort of blend out from the red into the yellow to create like a lovely orange. Okay. How's everyone doing on this lovely Tuesday afternoon? So if I take this now and just turn it over, you can see how we're starting to build up the color. So what I can do now is I can take the yellow and I can come in from the top with very, very light flicking motion. Again, I'm not applying pressure. This is where we're sort of building up the layers of colour. I mean, there's a lovely yellow and red in the pergolina pencils as well that will do the job perfectly. You'll just get a different shade. Okay, so flicking from the top down. I mean, for me, this is very basic in colour. The course that Louise will be running, that one-day workshop, will go into a lot, and it'll be on the front as well. And the way in which it'll be done, you won't see the line art. It's really, that's why we called it sort of the enhanced pencil work, because it really, really is. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to take a dry nib, a clean nib, a dry nib, and then I can start to dry blend the colours together. And what that does is it now softens. So I'm going from the yellow down into the red. So what it's doing is it just brings both colours together. It's very noisy outside this studio today, considering there's not many people around. Doors banging. Must be the wind outside catching them. Okay, so now just blending it together. And what we'll do this one, and then we'll compare it to the others. So let's have a look. White is always going to make it look harsh, but you can see, hopefully you can see the difference, how we've got that soft blend, whereas on this one, it's still quite dominant in the red area. Okay, so I can go in here now, and I can start to blend those colours. See, the yellow helps with the blending as well. So by going over both of them, the yellow and the red, they blend them together as well. And I'm still going on very, very lightly. But the yellow pencil, this is something that I learned from Bob, colouring in generally, like the dark, the medium and the light. But for this, it's such a small little flower. We only need 2 colours really. I mean, we could take another colour, a darker one, if we felt we needed to, but I sometimes just working with 2 is enough. And don't forget, if you don't like it, then you can just take an eraser and rub it all out. So I'm going to take another nib now. This way you need a little pot for all your nibs. Oh, grab another one there. So I'm still staying dry. And now I'm just bringing those colours together. So these are I'm using from the autumn colour collection. I'm sure it's the autumn. How many pencils? Yeah, it's the autumn because there's only 4 pencils in there. In there. So we can go in. See these little tiny. I mean, look at the size of my thumb to show how small they are. So let's have a look. Let's turn this one over so we can see now. I mean, I just love that. My go-to when colouring flowers is yellow and red. It's my sort of safe net. But when you look at the colours that you've got, I know many of you are already taking advantage of the spring, summer, autumn, winter collections. Those blues and lilacs and the teals in there. No reason to say why you can't do that in the 2 different colourways. See, so now that's that. What else did I want to do? So if I take, where was that pencil sharpener? There it is. What I want to do now is take a really sharp pencil. So we sell the Faber-Castell pencil sharpeners as well. Okay, so you'll find those. They're on the website, but this is the Faber-Castell. Open up, you've got the different, so you've got colour, you've got jumbo, and then you've got graphite. You can see this is well loved, this one. And then what I want to do is very, very lightly, I just want to flick on the bottom. And I'm going to do it on one so you can see the difference. Okay. Because I'm doing it on the front, and it does need to be really fine, sharpened pencil. And then you're just going to flick from the tips of those. And it just adds a little bit. So if I now put that over there, you can see hopefully now how that's just, and I can take the dry nib and just blend on the front as well. That's it, that's better. So just blending, dry blending on the front. Now I know I've gone over that line there, so if I want to, I could take an eraser pencil and then just bring that back. So now I need to find, I can't believe where time goes. Right, I need to choose a winner first for the Happy Christmas magnet. Let's scroll back and let's go into the chat. Blah, blah, blah. Right, okay, starts there. Right, starts. So the first one that I can see that came in was Catherine Pierce. Right, so now I'm going to turn around and I'm going to scroll down and I'm going to waffle and stop. And the winner is Anne Breach. Congratulations, Anne. So I'll pop that in the post to you. I'm sure we have your address. But yeah, so Anne is the winner of the lovely Happy Christmas tree magnet. And then I need to find a winner for Barb's blooms. So I think, what word should we use? I want to say bloomers, but we're not going to put bloomers in the comments. Let's go for bloom. Bloom or blooms, but not bloomers. So if you want to be with a chance to win the second fridge magnet that says you're the best, which I'm sure you are, then I will choose a winner at the end. But what I need to do now is find a lovely companion paper to complement this, so I can put it inside the middle. So let me bring some details up on the screen. So the brand new enhanced pencil work course with Louise and myself. I say Louise myself. It's Louise, and I'm there to keep her company. So that will take place on, I'm not sure whether I said, that will take place on the 24th of January. And it'll be 9 till 12 and then 2 till 4. And again, if you can't tune in at the time, then it is available for you to go back and watch afterwards. I know many of our friends that are already in the room have taken part in various courses. So we'll be sending out the invites to that particular course in January. Jim is still building the classroom. It takes time, construction. So I'll let everybody know once it's happened. And then all you do is you log into your Circle account and you'll have access to it. Then if you're new to doing our online courses, so I'm just flicking through companion papers while I'm talking, trying to multitask to find out which one's going to work best. If you're new to our courses, then if it's your first time, then you'll get an invite to sign up to the Circle platform. And then once you create an account and you log in, then you'll have access to that course. And that's the same for Barb's paper collage kit, the Glastonbury tour, which will take place on Saturday the 7th of February. And all on the same platform. And if you need any information in regarding to any of the courses, then you can either give the office a call on the number below. When you go into the product information on the website, it gives you some information there. And with the collage course, we actually send you the 12 by 12 canvas board, the papers, the template, and there's a little list on there that says what you will need in addition, which is sort of like low tack tape, scissors, tweezers, Pritt stick, and I think like a Baron, just to smooth everything out. I think that's all. And a pencil. That's it. That's all you will need in addition to do the course that's currently on your screen. And then once Louise has done the ingredients list for the enhanced course, as explained, that will be sent out to those that have already signed up to the course via email. Right, okay, I've got my guillotine out. Now, I was flicking through, and I reckon Indian Summer is a nice colour palette for what I've chosen. So when I was flicking through, so we're coming closer now. There we go. So you've got this colour that works. That works. That works. Not so good. Yeah, that works. The green works. Pink sort of works. Okay, this is only going to go behind it. That yellow works. The orange works. Is that the same orange as that one? No, look, different shades of orange. I'm going to go for the dark one. So this is from your Indian Summer collection. So item number 31663, which is your companion paper. And then this needs to be 6 centimeters. This is for the fridge magnets, and 9 centimeters. So I'm cutting fractionally just inside those measurements. Okay. So I'm going to scroll through in a moment. I hope you've been putting blooms in the chat, and I'll be choosing a winner. Then I need my fridge magnet. So they're in 2 parts, and they also come with a template. So if you want to, they're not just for parchment. So that fits in there like so, fits like a glove. That goes in there like so. And then just make sure you haven't got all your grubby fingerprints on there of tumble dry sheet and everything else. And that goes in there like so. Okay, and then just push it in to the corners. Look at that. That is lovely. I really like these little fridge magnets. Perfect for the little mini makes. Okay, so we've already got a winner for the trees. Then we need a winner for the blooms. So we'll scroll through that in a moment. I'm going to have a slurp of coffee whilst you're putting the comments in. Give you a chance to enter. That's if you want to, you don't have to. I'm going to put the pencils back in. So I use the autumn ones, so they go back into the autumn glass. Oh, I was going to show you the baubles, what I did. If you didn't tune in this morning, let me just show you what I did with the baubles. So if I bring in, oh, I've got everything out of the cupboard here. All right, that goes over there. That goes over there. That goes over there. Okay. That goes there, that goes there. So this is the Christmas tree sampler. 9 beautiful trees on there, not just for Christmas. I think we established that this morning. They're just beautiful Christmas trees. Okay, so the details for that are on your screen. Then that one that I did this morning, this one, I chose Happy Christmas from the I Am Essentials. So we've got that on the screen for you. Item number 42553. It's written on there as well. And there's 30% off on that. And then this, which I'd completely forgotten about, is Barb's A4 bauble sampler. And you've got all these different shaped baubles in all the sizes. You've got the different hangers on there as well, the different tops for the different size baubles. And the item number for that is 41615. Okay, so that's all the information, and that also you can see has 30% discount as well. But when I was having a play this morning, what I did was I just took a couple of the different shaped bells. Let's come in on this one. So I took the circular bell and popped that tree in. I took the bell, bauble, and you can see I've got different caps on them. So that was the little heart tree, which is in there. I mean, I could take Happy Christmas and not put the frame in and put that there. I could put Happy Christmas onto there. And then this was using what I call the calligraphy tree in this one. And then the one that has the little sort of dangly bits and pieces in there. But it's nice that you've got the different size baubles. The tree, I mean, you can put anything in these shapes. You really can. This was the coaster. I showed off using coloured parchment. No colour required at all. Job done. Gift. Christmas tree present. Table present. Just for yourself. Make a set for your coffee table. And then this was one that Barb had done previously. And Pico cutting in there, and on the back you've got some lovely colouring. So you've got the little aperture. So that was using the nested squares. No, that would have been the Pico squares to create the double frames on there, and then created the cutting opportunity. And that's using some coloured parchment behind it to enhance. So that's that. And then let's have a look at some artwork from the design team. I won't go through all of it. So this was one that Jane had created, and that's a stencil where she's put colour behind it. This one is Gorgeous Kalinis. I love this one. I mean, it doesn't look like a tree at all, does it? Looks like a rocket or a pencil. It's like a pencil. Very fancy pencil for those of you that like pencils. This one is Chris Warner using designer parchment. I love the three different sort of panels, the different. Karen Jackson's done this one. She's Pico cut each of the layers and built them up. This one from Sheila Gray, 3 separate panels all on one card, but potentially 1, 2, 3 little cards, 3 little mini makes. There's definitely so much you can do with this one. This one here is from Sheila Gray again. This one is, I love this one. This is Jane Telford with, where's the tree there? Doesn't look anything like a tree. It's just a beautiful, I mean, it's a snowflake, a rosette. Yeah, absolutely gorgeous. So, okay, that's that. So we've spoken about that. Oh, and this morning, I've got my, let me bring this in. This morning, I was showing you with the Posca pens on parchment. So we've got gold, silver, green, red, and white, and these are the these are the fine ones, the little nib one. These are the 1MR, I think it are. So we've always done the gold and the silver and the white. We recently introduced the red because it's perfect for berries on the holly, but it's just a lovely red. And then I think it was last week the green came in. That was a new colour. So they're all available on the website as well, and they're $4.75 plus your club discount. And that was what I used to decorate I'll bring in the tree, coming close on that. So the little dots on the tree, and then the gold within the circle, that's using the Posca pens. I mean, you can use the metallic gel pens as well, but yeah, works beautifully on parchment as well. So, right, let's go back over to the chat and find, we're looking for blooms now. So let me scroll down and see blooms. Right, Kim was the first one in with bloom that I can see. So I'm going to turn around, I'm going to scroll, and the winner is lovely Pauline Canham. Congratulations, Pauline. Thank you, ladies, both for taking part, and everyone else for being in a chance for winning these little pieces of artwork. So we'll get those popped in the post to you today or tomorrow. And Royal Mail at the moment, collections and everything. It's obviously the busiest time of the year, but it'll be winging its way to you very soon. June. Jilly has made a note of those names for me, because by the time I switch this off and everything else, I would have forgotten. I mean, I've forgotten what day of the week it is already. But we'll get those sorted and we'll get those sent to you. Thank you very much for keeping me company this afternoon. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you've found something useful. And thank you to Jilly for helping out in the room. So where are we now? See, I'm a sort of day ahead because I was here on Sunday with Barb. I'm thinking today's Wednesday, but it's not, it's Tuesday. So is it good to be a day ahead? I'm not sure. The other thing I also wanted to mention, just before I disappear, Barb has said that if anyone needs to renew their clubs, and whether you're renewing in January, February, March, April, etc., and you pay in full for your subscription during the course of December, then you'll get double points on your description on your subscription. So if you belong to one club and you want to renew and pay in full, you'll get double points on that. If you belong to two clubs, and the renewal is not until January or February, etc., you can renew now. And if you renew during the month of December, you'll get double points. The double points will be added to your account in January. It's easier for me to create the list and then do it all in one go. So double points will be allocated to your account in January. And that's if maybe you don't belong to any clubs. Maybe you're thinking, you know what? Maybe now's a good time to join a club. There's so much exciting stuff coming up next year. There really, really is. Barb and Jazz had, and the team had a fantastic sort of planning meeting, sort of setting out the year ahead. Barb's already mentioned the Clarity newspaper. So, that's it's going to be absolutely amazing. Well, this year's been amazing, and next year is looking no different. So, so thank you for joining me. So, yeah, I'm a day ahead, so it's not Wednesday, it is Tuesday. We'll be back with you on Friday at 10 o'clock. Barb will be back here, and she'll be looking at the stamps for those brand new Friends, Sisters and Angels designs that she illustrated. We launched those on Sunday in both grey board and also in stamps, but Barb will be putting the stamps through the paces on Friday at 10 a.m. I will be at Hobby Maker in Redditch at 1 o'clock and 5 o'clock, and a couple of new plates. If you've been following Barb's blog in the countdown to Christmas, a couple of weeks back there was a design that was highlighted, and we had it in stamps and we had it in stencils, but we didn't have it in Groovy. So it's going to be in Groovy. So if you can cast your mind back, I'll go back and read some of the blogs. I can't remember when it was. It was during the 100 days countdown, which is scarily getting closer and closer. It might give you a sneaky idea of what is coming up on Friday. Just 2 new plates and a little spacer, but beautiful, absolutely beautiful. So thank you for keeping me company. Enjoy the rest of the day and your week, and we look forward even to seeing you on Friday. And don't forget, if you have been watching, if you scan the QR code, it will take you straight to the show page. Okay. Thanks very much, and I'll see you again very, very soon. Bye bye.